Wife's darkest secret exposed to her husband. Something's wrong. I can feel it. The air around me is thick with all things mismatched. It's suffocating me, ripping the breath out of my lungs. Perhaps I'm overreacting. That's what I'm being told. Maybe my personal biases and backward thinking make me see things that aren't there, or not seeing what is. I don't know. All I know is that I feel like I've just been handed a garbage sandwich and told it's a quarter-pounder. Isn't that a good burger, Paul? No, asshole, it's garbage. My wife and her best friend are sitting with me in this crowded restaurant. As usual, they're sharing a secret they won't tell me. The subtle glances they throw at each other when they think I'm not looking tell me something their mouths aren't telling me. As annoying as it is, it happens a lot. But for some reason, today is different. Something different is in the air. I don't know why I feel this way, but it does. They've known each other since they were kids. Best friends since junior high school. They got into cheerleading at the same time and have been inseparable ever since. Even after they graduated high school and went away to college, they remained close. Their relationship has always annoyed me. I know it's irrational. I was never going to be the guy who tells his wife who she can and can't be friends with. I don't own her. We're partners, not master and slave. And yet she chose me, for better or worse, until death do us part. We are bound for life. If there's an aspect of their friendship I don't like, it should at least be addressed, not gloss over it. But that's exactly what she's doing. She says I'm making a big deal out of everything. I'm overreacting. Her family tells me the same thing. Paul, you have to understand, they tell me. He's like a brother to CC. Yes, you heard right, like a brother. I mean, her best friend is a man. Of course, you're probably doing the same thing everyone else is doing. They look at the fact that he was a cheerleader and assume he's a GDR and I have nothing to worry about. Wrong. Gary, her best friend, is 100% straight. In high school, he slept with more cheerleaders than he did quarterbacks. He's seen them all with no clothes on at one time or another. He was always at the bottom of the pyramid, which meant he spent most of his time looking at their bodies and grabbing them. He had to grab them properly so they wouldn't fall off. If that meant he had to hold on very tightly to a soft pair of cheeks, well, that's what it was. My wife thought it was hilarious. The fact that he used his knowledge of the women in the squad to sleep with most of the girls in the school is like a running joke between the two of them. She tells him how disgusting he is while giggling uncontrollably. I know most of you are asking the million-dollar question. I can hear it already. I've asked that question hundreds of times. I'm going to give you the same answer I gave you, a number. According to them, Gary and my wife never went all the way. But doesn't that raise a bunch of other questions? Like what, for example, does that mean? What is all the way through? If they didn't go all the way, how far is part of the way? Isn't that what is being alluded to? Part of the way means something happened. Asking these questions makes me look like an insecure jackass. People look at me with a "really, dude?" expression and shake their heads. I've never gotten a straight answer, at least not one that completely satisfies me. It's always been a point of contention between us. I love CC, I trust her, but that nagging feeling of uncertainty was always present. She's tried to make me forget about it. She's always dragging me on these dates with Gary and his wife. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that. He's married. Yet another reason why I should chill out. Anyway, Ciara, CC, has always tried to bridge that gap between me and Gary. I know she wants us to be friends, and honestly, I can see Gary trying. So I let my guard down and relax a little. The problem is, we have nothing in common. He doesn't watch sports, doesn't work with his hands, and never wants to do anything that would make him break a sweat. My hobbies include going to the gym, working on my car, and bowling. He likes dancing, rollerblading, and window shopping. I know, that doesn't sound good. I can see he's cheating on you too. No matter how hard I try, I just can't get close to Gary. He and I realized that a while ago, and we stopped trying. We have a heart for each other, but neither of us likes being dragged out and forced to hang out with each other for my wife. We just don't have the guts to tell her that. So every chance I get, I find reasons why I can't come hang out with the four of us. Cece used to get frustrated when I slacked off, but after a while it became the norm. Over the years, she still asked me to come and let me know I was welcome, but she didn't really expect me to come. Today, I decided to socialize when she invited me to go to lunch with Gary and his wife. When I accepted, she seemed pleasantly surprised, but she also seemed a little nervous. When we got to the restaurant, we were ahead of Gary and his wife, so we were seated in a booth for 4. About 10 minutes later, Gary showed up, without his wife. He walked up to the booth smiling. When he saw I was here, his smile became less genuine and more forced. I sensed a change in temperature. Cece also looked more anxious than usual. She talked a lot, but nothing worthwhile came out. It was more like trying to fill an awkward silence than a smooth conversation. The uncomfortable atmosphere put me on high alert. My senses are attuned. I'm acutely aware of everything, including their furtive glances that they try to discreetly toss back and forth. There's something else going on here. When we leave the restaurant, I can't focus. As we walk to the car, my thoughts scatter in all directions. Cece is still very talkative, but she doesn't say anything. It's starting to get annoying. "What's going on between you and Gary?" I suddenly ask, breaking through the sea of her nonsensical words. She stops and looks at me with her mouth open in surprise. "I know you guys are furious with me right now. I broke rule number 1 by suspecting my wife of cheating on me. At this point, I have to pretend everything's fine while I secretly contact a private investigator. And then, while he investigates my wife, I have to instill a false sense of security in her so that she loses her guard and makes a mistake." "Paul, what are you talking about?" she asks. I tell her this. She does look genuinely confused. "I'm talking about you and Gary. What's going on?" "Paul, you don't understand anything." "Okay," I say, stopping. "Let me ask you a simpler question. Are you cheating on me with Gary?" "What?" she gasps, completely shocked. "Gary? Are you crazy?" I admit it. Her utter shock at the thought of her and Gary calms me down a little. But I know I'm not seeing the big deal. "If you're not having sex with Gary, then okay. But something is going on. I need you to admit it and tell me what the hell it is." Cece shakes his head and starts walking ahead of me. I step faster to catch up with her. When I end up next to her, she says, "I can't tell you, Paul." Don't ask. "Wait a minute. Do you have something you can't tell me about your husband, but you'll have no problem telling Gary?" "Paul," she whimpers, as if begging me to stop this conversation. Don't, Paul. Answer me. You can tell Gary, but you can't tell me." "You don't understand, honey," she says cryptically, taking my hand gently. It's a calming tactic she uses when she wants me to calm down. I pull away and wait for her to start telling me, but she doesn't. "Ciara, you better tell me something," I say firmly. She looks at me wide-eyed, as she always does when I use her full name. Then a look of defeat appears on her face as she exhales air in frustration. "Paul, it's not my secret," she says softly. I'm still giving her a hard time, so she finally relents. "Gary is cheating on his wife." "What?" "Yes." She nods. "He told me not to tell anyone, not even you." I almost breathe a sigh of relief. But then other thoughts start swirling in my head. "So he's cheating on his wife and you're helping him hide it, is that right?" She nods her head again. "But you can't say anything to him. I promised I wouldn't tell you." By now we're standing by the car, and I unlock the door and open it to let her inside. Once she's seated, I go around to the other side and get in myself. "Promise me, Paul. Promise me you won't say anything." I don't answer her as I start the car. After I pull into the driveway, she starts begging me again not to say anything. Honestly, the last thing I care about is Gary cheating on his wife. That's his business. If he wants to destroy his marriage, Let him go for it. What bothers me is the fact that my wife not only knows about it, but is helping him do it. So he's cheating, and you're helping him? I repeat, carefully emphasizing the words I want her to pay attention to. By this point, I think she realizes what I'm getting at and starts to back off. Well, I'm not exactly helping him with this. I'm just there for him so he can talk. That's about it. About the cheating? About everything. Including cheating on his wife. Right? I can see her frustration growing at the continuous cycle this conversation is on. I do too. I think I have more right about this. I'm the one in the dark. The only reason for this loop is that she wants to play word games instead of just telling me the truth. Paul, why are you questioning me? I'm not the one cheating, am I? See? Right there. Another ploy to mislead. She didn't even answer the question. She can't say, yes, I'm helping my best friend cheat on his wife. Instead, she's trying to mess with my head and make me look like a crazy asshole who always overreacts. I'm not overreacting. I have half a mind to dump her here. The aggravation alone isn't worth it. But I refuse to be led astray by her wordplay. It's a common tactic of hers. She's actually quite effective, but not today. Today I will not be denied. I quickly start the car and squeal into the makeshift parking space. I then put the car in park and turn off the engine. Paul, what are you doing? CC, I'm not playing with you. Give me some straight answers. We're not pulling away until you do. What the hell is wrong with you? She yells at me. I take the keys out of the ignition and put them in my pocket. A useless gesture, I know, but it makes my point clearly. She sits up and stares at me with disbelieving eyes as the seconds tick by. God, you're such an asshole, she finally shouts, crossing her arms and pouting. I just sit there and wait. I'm not going to let her distract me from the conversation by giving yet more inane answers to my questions. I lean back and lean my head back against the headrest. Great. He's cheating on Cynthia with someone from his office. He told me he's really ashamed of it, but he can't stop. He feels alive with this new woman. She listens to him and understands in a way that Cynthia just can't understand. Are you happy now? So where are you? Are you giving him an alibi? Do you sit and listen to him do love gymnastics? What are you doing for him to make him feel okay to come and talk to you about it? I just listen to Paul. That's about it. You should try it sometime. I think about it for a few minutes. Then, with a nod, I start the engine and pull away. Do you think what he's doing is wrong? I ask after a moment of silence behind the wheel. Probably, but I'm not judging him for it. So you're not advising him to talk to his wife? You don't tell him that cheating on her is bad? You just sit back and giggle with him over all the nasty things he does with this other woman. Am I right? She just shakes her head. You know? That's why I didn't want to tell you. You're so quick to judge people. Really? Telling your best friend that he's wrong for cheating on his wife is judgmental? She let out a groan that had pure annoyance in it. It's not about that. It's about your attitude. You're such a saint. You already dislike Gary. Why would I tell you something that would make you dislike him even more? You won't even try to understand what he's getting at. What is he doing? He's cheating on his wife. Who cares where Mr. Cheerleader came from? I roar. How doesn't she realize that? She just hums, shakes her head, and stares out the window. For the rest of the ride home, we don't utter another word. For the rest of the day, the air in my house is cold, and I don't mention the air conditioning. CC walks around me, deliberately ignoring me. This really annoys me, and I don't try to strike up a conversation with her in return. Luckily for me, it's Sunday, and Sunday is soccer. This allows me to even ignore the fact that she's ignoring me. Later, in bed, she continues her protest. When she comes out of the bathroom after her shower, she's wearing a baggy, no sex for you t-shirt and don't even think about it sweatpants. When she gets into bed, she rolls over so that she's facing me. We sit in somber silence for a minute, Each of us tries to reassure the other. Finally, I succeed. I have to bring up the question that has been keeping me in suspense all day. Cece, if I cheated on you. Before I can finish, she instantly turns around to face me. A movement so fast, so sudden, that the blanket is ripped off me. A mask of anger is frozen on her face. If I were cheating on you, I continue, wouldn't you want Mike, my best friend, to be as careless as you are? Wouldn't you want him to tell me how wrong it is? Or wouldn't you want him to sit and share stories with me? I see tears come to her eyes, but she doesn't give up. That's not what I do, Paul. I told you. I'm just listening. He's my best friend. I'm not going to judge him just like Mike wouldn't judge you. Besides, I hope Mike at least tries to find out why you feel the need to cheat. That's what I'd like to know. Why? I'd like to know where I'm letting you down so I can fix it. Wouldn't you want to know that? I guess. I give up. I'm finally giving up. I'll have to accept that we won't see eye to eye on this issue. Besides, I'm not going to let Gary's cheating interfere with my wife and me. It's already cost us one day together. We could have spent that day having fun. Instead, I watched every game I could find and she did whatever she wanted. Now I'm not getting any sex. Look, Cece, I'm sorry. Okay. I still think it sucks, and I don't like that you seem to be okay with your best friend cheating, but I'm not going to tell you off for it. Why don't we end this Cold War? Tears glisten in her eyes and she nods. Okay. I'm sorry about that. You're right. We shouldn't fight. She moves to my side of the bed and wraps her arms around me. We kiss a deep kiss. That kiss was both a white flag of surrender and an apology. It was also imbued with promise, a promise of love and understanding. Even if we fight and disagree, we are still lovers and spouses. I love you, Cece, I say, as my hands find the waistband of her pants. She doesn't stop me by slowly pulling them down. More than that, she lifts her hips to help me. I love you too, Paul, she says, as I pull her pants off. Her eyes fill with fresh tears. Don't you ever forget that. Do you hear me? I hear you. I hear you. We make sweet love. It's one of those wonderful sessions. You married people know what I'm talking about. Every once in a while, you and your wife have that kind of energetic sex. The kind of sex where you just can't get enough of each other. I love my wife, and I'm not going to let Gary or anyone else get in the way of that. The next day, I walk in the door and kiss my wife and then head into the bedroom to take off my work clothes for the day. Once in there, I see her phone on the nightstand light up and start vibrating. I ignore it at first, but curiosity takes over. My wife's phone is locked, but she set it up so that when she gets a message, it shows up on the screen. She can't reply to it until she opens the phone, but she can read it. As such, I can too. What I read confused me at first. However, then the pieces began to fall into place and make more and more sense. When full realization came, I was furious, boiling hot magma. The message was from Gary, and it read, "Glad you finally finished the novel. It wasn't good for you. Your husband's a great guy. He doesn't deserve this. Besides, you know I can't keep a secret. What's a stranger? Kiara, the end. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you."